Hello, my name is Conrad. I'm from Stony Brook University's Career Center. I work under Kimberly Joy Dixon as an employee relations assistant, and today I am here with Lloyd Ippolito. Hello, Lloyd.
Hi, Conrad. How are you?
I'm good. Why don't you tell me a bit about yourself?
So I graduated from the MBA program in December of 2016 with my MBA in accounting. I'm presently the Associate Director of Finance at Federation of Organizations based in West Babylon, New York. We are a nonprofit providing advocacy, support, and treatment services for mentally ill, chemically dependent, and senior citizens. I've been in my current position for about a year and with the agency for over 9 years. I'm also the proprietor of Master Tax Services LI LLC, where I have clients I independently serve with their accounting and tax needs.
Awesome. Thank you for giving us your background. Why don't you give us a brief overview about your accounting journey and how you got to where you are today?
So I think like many students who pick a profession, I was influenced by my parents. My father and mother are both accountants, and my father's a CPA specialized in taxation. I started out in Stony Brook as a computer science major, but I appreciated the data analytics and use of technical tools more than the actual theory of programming. At the time, the accounting program was really starting to expand. So I feel like I got in on the ground floor, and we had really great professors like Carl Locke and Christine Caminelli. In the last semester of my MBA program, the Director of Finance at Federation was very impressed with my accounting aptitude and skills, even though at the time I was actually part of the IT department. Nonetheless, she offered me a job, and with 2 promotions later and her having moved to North Carolina, I now have her position. I think this speaks to the importance of making connections and networking. Among other things, the CFO at Federation, who was an alumni of my high school, wrote my recommendation letter for the MBA program, and one of the MBA students I met has actually referred me business to my firm, including other startups in Seawood, and he himself is also a client.
That's a very interesting background story, Lloyd. Thank you. What does your typical day look like, both pre and post COVID-19?
So to be honest, COVID has not changed my typical day much, and I think it's emphasized the importance of technology, and I think my staff realize how important some tools are, and it's certainly improving their workflow. I oversee the accounts receivable and payroll departments here at Federation. Day to day, what I would do is I would meet with program directors, look at their budgets, make analytical decisions such as you have a lot of money left in your contract at this point of the year, you have some vacancies in place, you need to either fill those positions, are we looking to upgrade equipment, are we looking to buy new equipment, or on the other hand, you have these vacancies that you really can't fill because you're over budgeted based on where you were at this time last year and what's left in the year to go, and making decisions that way.
Thank you. I've heard that accounting has a reputation for very long hours. Is that true? And how has this changed between pre and post COVID-19?
So yes and no. COVID happened during tax season and extended it, tax season. For my own firm, this has led to more time to get the job done, with some requests having been dragged out by clients. At Federation, again, I think it speaks to the need to leverage technology. At the eve of COVID, we were still doing the expense reports in Excel, and one of the challenges was how we were going to sign off on these for approval. And sure enough, it software to the rescue as we were finishing our SAP Concur implementation for expense reimbursement, and the staff loved it, and our accounting department loved it too.
Awesome, thank you. So what are some of the skills that you think make a successful accountant?
So I think the paramount attributes are going to be attention to detail and critical thinking, and by no means sitting at an adding machine for 10 hours a day with pleasure. Important also, and we'll see this more and more in the next decade, is the ability to leverage. I talk about this not just in terms of what Robert Kiyosaki would say on leveraging other people's money and time, but also in technology. I predict that very soon accounting clerk type positions will be obsolete, and instead of paying someone to enter invoices and cutting checks, you're going to be paying someone to say, how do these invoices funnel down to my product lines and core services? And really getting into the data and asking questions in order to improve performance and cut costs. An actual example of my line of work as we continue with SAP Concur and upgrades for improved analytics in our EHR electronic health record system and improved billing software is going to be building models of providing clinical treatment services at what levels of staffing and at what locations and at what volumes of services are going to need to be provided for us in order for us to negotiate value-based pricing agreements with managed care organizations. And that's going to allow us to stay competitive and to be able to operate these programs without losses. And As a nonprofit, maybe your goal is not to make profits, but you're certainly not to have losses. You have to be able to sustain the programs with the operations it has. And if you can't sustain the program doesn't exist, and that's not good for anyone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your valuable insights, Lloyd, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Conrad.
Have a good day.
You too.